This is WeldMate. WeldMate is a welding robot that is designed to be super simple to use. Roll in the factory and welders can just start working. There's no coding, there's no training, just works. So let me show you how it all fits together, how it all works. Each WeldMate has this little companion app that runs on both a tablet and mobile phone, and that you can use to just help guide you through the process your first time and to back up and restore all of your recordings and all of your welded parts. They're all stored in here so you can pull it back up. So it's a nice little companion app, but at the end of the day, the system was designed to be super simple to use for anybody. And that a welder could come up and say, all right, I got a new part to do. WeldMate, I'm gonna install you in front of the table, and I'm gonna tell you, here's your workstation. So you need to scan it. So I'm gonna give WeldMate the sign to scan the table, like this. WeldMate is gonna say, okay, we start a new day of work, new table, let me scan it. And the whole point is that the robot understands its environment. You don't have to simulate things, you don't have to do all this complicated stuff. WeldMate's gonna look around, it's gonna understand, just like welders do. So now we see in our companion app that we've got the table, we're good to go. So let's get started, and we're gonna do our first part. So now what the welder does, welder comes up and says, okay, today we're gonna be working on this reference A or whatever, simple part, and I got 50 to do. So I'm gonna show you the first one, and then you'll do the other ones. So we'll start by setting the part up on the table. We'll do something kind of crazy. Here we go. It's early Monday morning. We're gonna do something like this. That looks bad. No. So we got the part on the table, and I'm gonna say, WeldMate, your first part's here. Let's record it. So I'm gonna give you the peace sign, and now what WeldMate's gonna do is scan the part. It's gonna scan the table. It's gonna find that there's a part on the table. It's gonna say, all right, let's weld this. So now WeldMate does all its complicated stuff behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. And just to be sure, our part has been popped up in our companion app. So we can see the part. We can even see this little dotted line here that says, hey, I bet you want to weld on this seam. So WeldMate's almost ready to go. We're just waiting for me to show it where we want to weld, from what point to what point. So I'm just going to use my finger to come over here and say, I want you to start here about 1 centimeter from the edge, and over here, maybe 1 centimeter from this other edge. It's as easy as that. You just point, and you can point as many times as you want. But if I leave my hand on the last point, it says, recording's done, let's try. So now before I actually weld, I want to do a dry run, so I'm going to give it the dry run symbol. And what this is going to do is the robot's going to come and it's going to get close to the part without actually welding, so I can verify if everything looks good. So I'm going to get real close, make sure we don't have any collisions or anything like that. Okay. Probably adjust my stick out and all that stuff, but we're looking pretty good. Maybe a little low, you know, I'm, again, no expert, but that doesn't look half bad. Yeah, I'm pretty confident. We didn't break anything. Everything looks good. The robot naturally takes collisions and all this stuff. It does a lot of the hard work without actually telling you about it. It just does the job. It just works. So now we're ready to go, and all we got to do is put on our protective equipment. Obviously, I'm not really well protected, but I'm not going to be welding, am I? I'm going to put on my helmet, adjust it so it doesn't give me a headache. There we go. And all we got to do to start welding is put the cache on the camera. Now this is, of course, the earliest prototype model. But the production versions have an automated cache. So we're good to go. Now what WeldMate's going to do is recognize that it's got its cache on and it's going to start welding. So we're going to put on our goggles and we're going to let it rip. Done. Beautiful. Look at that. So we've done our reference weld. Now my job as a welder is to say, all right, does this look good? Is this appropriate? Is this the right kind of weld? Does it fit my spec? Look in here. It doesn't look half bad. Maybe it's a little low on this end, so I can come in and touch that part up with this little companion app. That's no problem. But once I'm happy with the part, we just record it. And it goes into the list of recorded references, and then all I've got to do is the welders come up with my part off the table because we no longer need it. It's validated. Put it down there. Don't burn anybody. And I'm going to put up my series. So I'm going to put up my batch stuff. So I'm going to start putting some parts on the table. Like this. Well, obviously, this is kind of a ridiculous situation, but I'm going to say, okay, you need to do a batch now. I'm going to say it's reference A that we just recorded. So go ahead and go. And now WeldMate's going to scan the table. It's going to detect all the parts, and it's going to weld the ones that it can do. And if you put a part somewhere where it can't do it, it's just going to say, I can't do that part. So you do it yourself, or you put it somewhere else. And that's it. That's all it does. It's nothing more, nothing less. It just works. It's good enough, and it helps companies, even the smallest ones, start being more productive, start welding. So that's what we're here for. That's what WeldMate is. That's what it does, and that's pretty great.
So